Alright everybody, welcome back for some more Crackpack. Up here on the Crackpack server, of course, we got OMG Chad, Avidia, Adlington, myself, and Mukaki has just logged in. Pretty quiet here. I think there's a lot of people just hanging around their base doing stuff right now. It's pretty early in the day, and I don't really have time to do a full up stream right now, but I wanted to make a little bit of progress, so I thought I'd just record this and put it on YouTube for you guys. So, what I want to do right now is get an actual weapon, because right now all I have is a steel sword that I don't know, Pack gave me or I found in a dungeon chest somewhere, one of the two. Forget which one. Pardon me, started recording, I went, okay, there goes the voice. First thing we need to do is make up some more aluminum brass, and that's not because I used it all up. It's because, yes, everything's been good today. It's because I was pulling out seared stone, and you can see I've made quite a bit of seared stone. This is actually pretty easy to make once you have even a basic smeltery, because you can just put in cobblestone wherever it shows it, somewhere here. Yeah, you can just put in cobble, or I was doing compressed cobble and get seared stone out and then just pour it through your basin. However, clicking that yep, that just happened. I just clicked it. Clicking that every single time is not a good thing. It takes forever to do it that way. So I did this, and I guess I get to show you now. I didn't intend to do this, but here we go. The easiest thing I could find to make at this point was the extra utilities transfer node, a little bit of iron and an ender pearl or a block of redstone. I had a few ender pearls, so I went that route, and then just some transfer pipe to make that. And that will transfer liquids from one place to another. For instance, this osmium that I just put in here, I can pop it on here, and it now puts that back into the smeltery for me. So there we go. Problem is, it has an internal buffer of 8 buckets. So if I break this while there's metal in it, I lose that metal, or liquid in this case. I mean, at this point it's liquid, but it's liquid metal. So there you go. So anyway, I was moving stuff around, and you can't switch it from one direction to the other. You can't like say, okay, pour out of here, now pour back that way. You have to actually break it, take it off of this face and put it on that face. And well, long story short, I ended up breaking all of our aluminum brass. What just? Oh, I went completely the wrong direction. It's 3 aluminum to 1 copper, not 3 copper to 1 aluminum, but that's fine. I will throw in a couple more aluminum. That should be plenty, and having a little copper in there is just fine too. Yes, I know it's wasteful on lava to just do 2 of them when I could be doing a whole batch, but I don't care. For instance, I have a basic fluid tank for mechanism with 12 buckets of lava in it right now. And yeah, actually one thing before we get to the crossbow still, show you this. You may have to rebind your keys, but if you make one of these mechanism tanks and you hit Shift M, you can get bucket mode, and you can turn bucket mode on and off. And basically this tank can either work like a tank, or it can work like a bucket with 14 buckets worth of capacity in it. So anyway, yeah, it's a pretty nice little thing. The only thing I couldn't do is, even in bucket mode, I couldn't put it into here, so I had to put the tank down and then bucket it over with a regular old bucket. Okay, enough of that. Let's work on our crossbow. So to make a crossbow, we're going to need probably more inventory space, but we'll work on that in a minute. We're going to need, well, eventually we're going to need a fletching, so let's do that. We're going to need a crossbow limb, so let's get that. A bow string, a crossbow body, and that's it. And the tough binding, but we've already got the tough binding. So let's get these going. Fletching pattern, you can just go into here. I resorted all this, so it's a little bit easier for me to find stuff now. Okay, stone crossbow limb. So this is weapons over here, tools up here, and tool rods and junk down here, I guess, something like that. Bowstring, again, we don't need that. We can just, let's see, weapons, yeah. We can make that right in here. So basically we just need the 2. All right. That one and that one. And we'll put you down there. Grab the cobblestone back. Oh, I have extra cobble. Yay. So you might notice that we've got more random chests and things laying around here, and I built up the top just a little bit more. I think I'm going to redesign it even a bit more, so there you go. Everything goes bad when we got joints. Alright, anyway, what was I saying? Things and stuff about things I'm sure. Here we go. Aluminum, brass, 8 ingots worth. Okay, so we're going to make those 2 castings, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to make stuff out of. Do I have any string? Oh, I have exactly 3 string. Wow. Okay, that's hilarious. Yeah, because it's 3 string for one of these, right? Material costs 3, and I have 3 string. Done. Alright, so the other string we can actually do is, for the bowstring, is the fiery string from flame string from the nether, and that is a little bit better. Your arrow speed is higher and your durability is a little bit higher, but it also makes your draw speed slightly slower, and I'm just going to start with regular old string, and we can upgrade that to that later thanks to iguana tweaks. Woohoo! I'm missing things. What's going on? Blah blah blah. Building new chunks. Okay, nothing special going on. All right. So we got that. We've got our 2 casts that we need. Nope, we have 1 cast. Right? Right. Okay, make the other cast. And now we need to talk about what to make the body and the limb and the tough binding out of, and how that affects things. And I went over and I did a little bit of sciencing to reconfirm my suspicions on a creative world, and I think I got it all sorted. So let's go. Oh, actually, with what I'm going, I don't think we even need these casts. Interesting. All right, the best limb that I can find at this point is Enderium. Now, a lot of people think Signalum is the best, and it was the best. It was stupidly overpowered, but they nerfed it because it was ridiculously overpowered. And I think Enderium is now the best. So, in a crossbow limb, durability is nice. I mean, you want decent durability, but it's not that big of a deal. You want a pretty low draw speed, but it doesn't have to be super low, because with redstone you're going to be able to speed up your crossbow anyway. And you want the highest arrow speed you can find. Okay, so 1.25 draw is pretty quick, reasonably quick, and 5 arrow speed is pretty good, versus Signalum, which is a 2.75, so it's like twice as slow, same arrow speed. So I think Enderium is better than Signalum, and I was actually going to make Enderium because I can make it in the smeltery. I've got ender pearls, I've got silver, I've got tin. I don't have 1 ingot of shiny yet, so I can't make that. But that's okay, because basically the second best, in my opinion at least, is going to be a simple blue, not shiny, where is it? Blue slime, or just slime crossbow limb. Oh, it doesn't show here. Well, it doesn't show the recipe, it shows the stats though. So 105 draw speed, see, that's faster than it actually needs to draw, because we're going to be able to get under a half a second easily, even with a slower draw speed than that, and a 4 arrow speed instead of 5. Now you could go green slime. So this one's got a 960 durability. If you go to green slime, you get a 4.2 arrow speed, which will make it do a little bit more damage, but it draws a little bit slower and has a little less durability. So I'm going to start with blue slime and then upgrade it to Enderium later once it's got some modifiers, and I put a bunch of redstone on there, and well, I have found some shiny. So to do that, we need, what's the cost on these again? Alright, cost for the crossbow limb is 4, and the body is 5. Okay, so for the limb we want 4, and that's going to be, oops, slime crystals. I guess I still have some bits in there for building. Yeah, so you don't use, hey, look, just perfect. Alright, you don't use the slime directly. You combine it with dirt and sand and you get slimy mud, and then we cook that, and that makes as some bits. That's not what we want. I'm going to make up some green slime crystals as well. I don't know if I need actually that many, but that's fine. We'll go with this, and we'll get that cooking while we work on something else. That sounded really weird. While we work on the next piece, is what I was trying to say there. Okay, so those are cooking into slimy crystals, and that's how we make things out of slime. So where am I getting all the slime from? This sapling right here. Well, that one and its predecessors. So you can get the green slime, the congealed green slime is the trunk of the tree, and then you have a chance of the blue slime dropping from the leaves. But the other option is you put blue slime in the world, and when you're recording, absolutely nothing happens. Hey look, quarried stone! Didn't I go running all over the place looking for quarried stone? When you're recording, apparently nothing happens, but when you're not recording, this will spawn blue slimes in the world. And I don't... Well, there you go. That's interesting, because I was going to say I had them spawn earlier, and it was... Oh, hello, lag. It was exactly that when I was messing around placing and removing the source block. So maybe just having it there has a small chance, but when it... I don't know what to say. When it's moving, when you're getting more or less... I don't need any more right now. I'll leave it. When it's actually, you know, flowing or stopping flowing, maybe that's kind of when it has a better chance of spawning them, because that was a little more than a quinky dink. Let's do it one more time. Being able to show it right now is going to be ridiculous if it actually works. I doubt it. It did! It just spawned another one. Well, today I learned a thing. So if you wanted to farm blue slime, you can actually just leave this here, and it will cause blue slimes to spawn slowly. But it looks like you could actually do something like why do they keep dying right here? That's weird. It looks like you could actually do something where you place a block and then remove it, and then have a little automated killer down there or something maybe. But anyway, okay, so there you go. So that's where I'm getting my blue slime from, and of course the green slime is coming from the tree itself. Well, some of the blue slime came from the tree, but that's really slow. And we need... Actually, yes, we need 5 of these, not 4 of them. Because we are going to make the body out of this, and I'll show you why in just a second. I kind of forgot that when I put those in the furnace. Okay, so let's get started over here. We want to make the crossbow, and to do that we have the string so far. We're going to need a binding, a limb, and a body. So we just got the stuff to make the limb. Let's do that. Where's my pattern? There it is. Alright, so we're going to make the limb out of blue slime, and that's going to have pretty good durability, pretty good draw speed, and not bad arrow speed. In general, it's pretty good. I mean, there are others like arrow speed 1. Okay, so that's arrow speed 5.3. Gee, that sounds really good. But that 2.25 draw speed, when we build the bow, will actually translate into like a 5-second draw for the bow, which is just too much. So there are other options, but I think Endurium is pretty much your best balance, because it says 1.25, but once we make it, it's going to be like 2 or 3 second draw until we redstone it all up. Anyway, so there's our slime crossbow limb, and we're going to need one more. Actually, I wanted to make a couple of other ones just for comparison. Now, yes, okay, sometimes stone ones are turned off so that you can't use them at all, but this is not turned off. So you can see here, durability 8, draw speed horrible 4.5, and arrow speed horrible 1. So I just want to make a couple extra pieces. I know I already had that, but whatever. A couple of extra pieces for comparison. And where's the body? There's the body. So here's the stone one. I actually might want to make a wooden one of them too, just again to show off kind of how things work here. And of course that's pretty much free. And then we want to make the real one out of green slime crystal, not green slime directly, which is not obvious in any way, shape, or form the first time you do this. Okay, here we go. Slime crossbow body. Okay, there we go. So a couple things for comparison, and what's the last piece we need? It's the tough binding, and we were going to make that out of... Oh right, it doesn't matter. There's only one thing we can do out of this, and I'll show you what that is here in a minute. let's grab one of those and okay, it would matter actually. I'll show that 1, 2, 3. It will actually pick up special properties. For instance, oh wait, do I already have one of you? Yes, I do. It will pick up special properties. For instance, stonebound off of the netherrack. And I meant to grab that, not that. All right, well, whatever. We have 2 of them now. And yeah. And I'd like to make it out of paper, but once again, we tried that last time. Paper tough. Yes, it does exist. It's a thing in the game, but you can't make it. It's not on the list. Iguana Tweaks has removed it from a possibility. I actually have a paper tough binding on here. Paper tough binding. But I made this before we got Iguana Tweaks, so I was able to craft that, or able to make the paper tough binding, and now you're not. Alright, so let's take a look at making the crossbow and do a little bit of comparison here. I will say that our best crossbow at the moment is going to be this. Okay, and then I'll talk about the parts a little bit and why that's the best crossbow. Alright, so the string, we have no other option. Flame string is your other option, and it will be better, but it'll also draw slower. So you can definitely upgrade to that later. The stone binding doesn't matter. Doesn't matter a bit. Wait a minute. Does that have stone bound? It doesn't. Okay. So most stone parts do have stone bound, but this does not. Interesting. Oh yes, it does. I totally missed that. Stone bound. Yeah, we don't want stone bound on it, so that's actually a bad idea. Let's just make a tough binding out of regular old wood if we can. You have to put all 3 in at the same time. No, you can't make it out of wood. Well, what can we make it out of that I have easily available? Nope, 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 nope. Ruby. Ruby? Sure, why not? Okay, what we actually want to make it out of is magical wood or Thaumium, but I don't have either of those easily available right now. So let's see. Ruby, Peridot, and where's the other? Sapphire. Okay, most of them I have is the ruby, so we'll go with that. And I don't believe that has any special properties. Durability modifier 1, that doesn't matter, and doesn't have any special properties. Okay. Yeah, so stonebound would have been a bad idea. Stonebound means that the tool digs faster or whatever, the more it's broken, but also does less damage, so we don't want the less damage. Okay, so here we go. We have a slime crossbow limb which determines our arrow speed and our base durability and the draw speed. Well, it somewhat determines the draw speed, because here it says 105, but the draw speed is actually 1.95 once you put the rest of the stuff together. So the bowstring will modify that, the draw speed 1.x, so that's exactly the same. However, it's still slower, and I don't quite understand why, but that's why. The crossbow body does absolutely nothing except modify the durability. Okay, so I can make this stone, again, bad idea because it's stone bound, but you're going to see the only thing that changes is durability. And if we make it wooden, we see it's 960, which is exactly the durability of this. The crossbow body is actually the handle. So if you want to look up what the crossbow body does, you look up tool rod. And now you can see that a wooden tool rod or crossbow limb is a 1.x, 1x modifier, versus stone, which is 0.3, which is a pain, versus green slime, which is a 2x. So with a wooden crossbow body, doesn't matter what the durability is, doesn't matter what the draw speed is, doesn't matter the arrow speed, none of that matters. All that matters is the modifier of the handle, the durability modifier, right? So 960 is exactly what we have in this slimy crossbow limb, and if I change that from a 1x modifier to a slime one, which is a 2x modifier, we now double it. That's all the limb does. All the body does. Other than, of course, you get special modifiers like Slimy or Stonebound or whatever. So be careful of that, of course. And then finally, this tough binding, again, does absolutely nothing, except it can add extra modifiers like Slimy or whatever. So if I change that for a stone one, we're not going to see a single thing over here change. It's exactly the same. Stone, ruby, netherrack, doesn't matter. They're all exactly the same. The only thing you can do with the binding is you can get to modifiable or writable or whatever trait. So that's why you would like to make it out of paper, but that's disabled. Your other two options, I think, are magical wood or thaumium. And I don't have either of those right now, but we will be able to switch it later. And there we go. So we're going to have Slimy because it's got both colors of slimy stuff on it. And regular bowstring and don't care tough binding. There we go. Slime crossbow. Should we name it something else? I think when I upgrade it, I'll call it something else. Right now, that's fine. Okay, so this claims +1 attack damage. That because I have no bolts right now, that just means if I go hit something with melee with it, it does 1 attack damage. We need to make a bolt in order for this to work, and that means we need another, well, tool rod actually. And let's take a quick look, because I didn't write this down. I can never find it in here. They all look the same. Okay, right. So now you need the durability, not the modifier, I think. Well, heck, let's make one of each, because I don't know which one is the better. Oh yeah, I just got a bunch more. So let's make a blue one. 2 of you, 2 of you. And a green one, which I have to convert to slimy balls. Slime balls. Alright, and grab that, cook those two up, and we will look at making a couple of tool limbs out of that. And then we want to tip it with something. Oh, I was going to go to the nether and go get some manulin. I don't think you can retip bolts. So I probably do want to do that. Now, here's the problem. If you look at NEI and you look for bolts, you're going to find the actual bolt, which is basically a tool rod, right? Let me just double check that. I haven't done this in a little while. Yeah, I'm sure it's a tool rod. There's no way to make a bolt, right? No, it's a tool rod. Alright, so you're going to find these actual bolts, which are just tool rods, basically. And then you're going to find the tipped ones, where it says obsidian bolt, and it says the damage... Oh, it doesn't even tell you damage here, but this is basically the basic one tipped with iron. They're all tipped with iron. And then you're going to find the one with a tool rod, fletching, and iron. And it's going to call them all iron bolts, because they're all tipped with iron, and they all do exactly the same amount of damage. So +3, +3, +3. Doesn't matter, because the damage is controlled by what you tip them out of, and they all say iron. So how do you figure out which one's best? Well, first of all, you can actually look at the number of arrows. For instance, why are they all so low? So, okay, so slimy. So this one is made out of the green slime bolt, or tool rod, and we can see that we get 40 arrows out of that, versus, where's the blue slime? Nope, that's Pokefenium, which is, oh, interesting. Okay, so maybe it is the tool rod modifier, because Pokefenium is actually a 3x modifier, so this is a 2x, that's a 3x, and wood is a 1x. Okay, so right, so wood gives you 20 bolts with whatever fletching that is and whatever tip that is, I guess. Well, I guess it says right here, feather fletching and iron tip. And then slimy is a 2x, so that doubles it. And then Pokefenium is actually a 3x tool modifier, so that triples it. Interesting. I thought it was the durability of the bolt the middle bolt piece, but it's not. It's actually the handle multiplier. So the bolt itself acts like a handle in here. Okay, so I don't, again, I looked up making Buckfinium and don't have quite all the pieces for that. But yeah, green slime is going to be the way to go. Oh no, creepered! Alright, so we don't need the blue one right now, but we will use the green one. Put you away. Probably find something to do with you later. And we need to make a tool rod. Slimy tool rod. Plus an extra half a shard, which does basically absolutely nothing, so we may as well just make a second rod out of that for whatever reason. Let's drop these stone parts over the side. I'll keep the netherrack. I might use that on something. Possibly. And to do this, we're going to have to tip it with something. Alright, so we figured out the durability and how to figure that out, right? 1x, 2x, 3x, so 3x is the best. Is this Manulin? Nope, that's Amethyst. I guess it would be 25. Manulin should be 2.5. Or, not 25. 40. 45, 50, something like that. I'm not seeing it off the top of my head. Alright, anyway, a Manulin rod would actually be a little bit better for the durability, but it's also heavier, so slime will be just fine. But now we want to know, well, what does better damage? And that you can't really tell from there. The way you can tell that is you can look up arrowheads, and not all of these will work for bolts, and that's kind of the gotcha. There's also a book. Do I have the book that talks about weaponry? I don't think this actually tells you the details. Let's take a quick look though. Yes, I'm learning to tinker. It's amazing. Throwing weapons, javelin. Okay, so there is a thing about crossbows in here. Okay, so short bow, long bow, crossbow, right? So it talks a lot about this. And basically, long story short, the heavier the arrows are, the more armor piercing they do. But if you make your arrows too heavy, then it's hard to shoot them long range because they fall and you can't really tell where they're going to go. So valid shaft materials are stick, sugarcane bone, blaze rod. And then the fletchings are leaves, slime leaves, feathers, and slime. We actually want slime leaves, and I need to wait for the tree to grow for that. Yeah, and that's all it says. There's nothing else. The shafts are for the arrows, not for the bolts, though. So, alright, so to figure this out now, we have to go through and take a look at all the damages, or the attacks on here. And then we need to figure out if we can actually make this into a bolt. So you got 1.5, 1s, 0s, 2.5 for refined glowstone, but you also need to take a look at the weight and the durability, because that's going to affect your bolts. Long story short, I think Manulin's really going to be the one we want, and I know it works. So attack of a 2.5 hearts, good durability, good weight, reasonable weight, break chance 100%, don't care, doesn't matter. The only other one I could actually do is ridiculous overpowered draconium. Attack 5.5 hearts, durability 800. Break chance is much lower, interesting, and the weight is only 2.1. Oh wait, no, you can't. I don't know if this will work or not, actually. Let's find out. So, for most of these, you put it in the smeltery and melt it down. I did some digging off camera, and I got 2 blocks of draconium, which gave us 8 draconium dust. And that's your draconic evolution, quote-unquote, iron. Now, I did notice you can melt it in this one. And it only takes 600. You only get 1 per if you do it this way. So, at least if I put it in there, I can get it back out, right? Yeah, I can just get it back into ingot form. So let's give it a try. I don't know if this will work or not. I know in Sky Factory it did not work. You had to... Oh, good grief. Oh, yeah, it's going. It's going to take it a long time, apparently, but it's going. Some of this stuff requires higher temperatures. Actually, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted use. Requires a higher temperature in the smeltery, but 600 should be lava. So I think it'll get there, it's just going to take it a while. So we're going to just take one of these slime tool rods and drop it here, and then we'll pour some draconium over it in a minute. Now, did we get... Still haven't gotten another slimy tree to pop up. So let me give it a few minutes. I need to let that melt, and we need to get another slimy leaf. I can either wait for that, or I can go find somewhere. You have to actually shear it and get the slime leaf. Otherwise, we could use feathers, but feathers aren't as good. So yeah, let me get a couple leaves, and I'll be right back, guys. All right, folks, and we're back, and it's totally not 2 days later. All right, it's a day later. Yeah, so I went and did a test, and I'm pretty sure that the draconium will not work on this bolt. We'll double check that. So I went to the nether to go get ardite and cobalt so we can make some manulin, and that took a while. I also tried to transform or morph into a taint swarm to see what it looked like and how you would move around and stuff, and then I morphed back out of it, and now I have a permanent taint swarm in the middle of my base. It's not really there. I mean, there's nothing to hit. It's just, yeah. I've logged out, logged back in a couple times now, and it's not actually changing anything. All right, so let's put one of you and one of you in. We're just going to do that much for now. And I do have that one ingot of molten draconium. We'll right-click and see. Yeah, no worky. So we cannot tip the bolt with molten draconium. Now I think, and I forgot to look this up. Let's look real quick. I think, in fact, it's actually the wyvern core. Yeah, there you go. So if you look up the use for wyvern core, and then you look to the right, or click to the right, it'll say tool material draconium. So the game considers a wyvern core to be draconium for Tinker's Construct stuffs. So maybe you could melt down a draconium. I don't think you can put a wyvern core in these. Yeah, that's it. You can't put it in the smeltery. So you can use this in the the part builder to make draconium parts like the arrowheads, but you can't put it into the smeltery to melt it down and get draconium. At least that's what I think is going to happen. All right, so while that's finishing, I planted up some more trees, and they're finally growing. These have taken forever. Like I said, this is actually the next day in real life. Oh, I got darkwood saplings too. Just got one to grow. Cool. We're going to try to shear a few leaves, and with fast leaf decay, this is actually kind of hard to do because as soon as you hit one, they all try to go. So actually, that worked pretty well. Pardon me. There goes the voice again. All right, so we should have got 14. All right, yeah. I guess the key there is when you're going to do it, just make sure that you're ready to hold down the button and get a bunch, because they will decay very quickly from the fast leaf decay mods. Okay, are we good? Yes, molten manulin 2. And now, if we right click, aha, there we go. Alright, so this is going to tip our tool rod with manulin, and now it becomes a bolt. It's a slime bolt with 400 durability because the 2x multiplier of the bolt plus the whatever multiplier or durability of the manulin itself. I guess I could look that up, but I think that's pretty obvious. Alright, and finally we want a fletching. And we're going to make a slime leaf fletching instead of a regular old feather fletching. So the feather fletchings are basically all 1x. This is a higher durability, whatever, break chance, don't really care about. Still good accuracy, and you get the jagged multiplier, so or modifier. So the more damage your bolts have taken, the more durability damage they've taken, the more actual damage they will do. Alright, let us make it. Finally, slime bolt, slime leaf fletching, and we get a bolt, manulin bolt that does +5 attack damage and has 269 durability / ammo. And in 1.7 we can put auto repair on that, and basically this will auto repair forever. So let's give it a try. I wish I could shoot you. Right click to load it, and as you can see, initially our load time is our draw time is pretty slow, 1.9. But we'll definitely be able to get that way under a second, probably down half or quarter of a second. Okay, didn't quite kill it in one shot. Where are we? But came close. Hey, I'm trying to look at your hearts. Jerk. So not bad for just having made it. No modifiers, no anything on it. Let's try to see if we can't get a couple of slimes to spawn over here again. And we'll play with them for a second. And then that'll probably be it for today, guys. Come on, slime. Spawn up, slimes. I thought we decided that was how you do it. Except that it's not apparently today. I did that actually another time off camera and it seemed to work. So, oh, there's one. Get killed. Yep. Yep. Alright, so it's pretty good. Definitely we'll add some quartz to it and add some other stuff. Now these guys are armored as well, and if I had made the bolt out of manulin instead of slime, it would actually do better armor penetration, but it would also be heavier and would drop faster. So with this, with the let's see if we can find something far in the distance. With slime bolts, we should be able to basically just point and shoot. Well, okay, that was a bad shot, but anyway, they're moving at us. But we should be able to just point and shoot almost exactly where we shoot at. Shouldn't have to worry about arrow drop or anything like that, pretty much. Whereas if you use the heavier materials, then the arrows will drop over distance and things. Yeah, I hear you. Where are you? Hi! Shoot you in the legs. Ow! Stop it, meanie. 20 armor points, yeah. Man, with all the armored mobs around here, maybe we should upgrade it to, or make some manulin bolts. Oh, come on. As I miss over and over and over again. Sorry. Alright, he's wandered off. Let's go up above. And now he's down below. We're just having a good old time here, aren't we, Mr. Zombie? Alright, so we definitely are going to need some upgrades from that, but yep, that's not too bad. And once we're able to draw, or to get the draw speed to half a second or so, we'll be able to just rapid fire blast them. I'm hoping when the server restarts that'll go away, but who knows. Alright, that is definitely it. I know it's been longer than my normal episodes, but wanted to get this all done, and I think we're good to go. Did I mention fruit salad? I probably did. 9.5 saturation. That's ridiculous. That's also the same in Sky Factory 2.5, by the way. I just tried it. Oh, and yeah, I lost my helmet because I got hit too many times. So sure, I'll take a new osmium helmet. Why not? There we go. Alright, that's it, folks. We got a nice new, shiny new slime crossbow with an upgrade path to make that even better in the future. But it's still pretty good to get started with, so I'll do some leveling on that and add some modifiers, and we'll be in pretty good shape. That's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you next time.